How are you tonight, Commissioner Fisher?
I'm doing well, Danette. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Looks like we got a full agenda tonight.
Oh boy.
I wonder how many will show up for the presentation for the mill levy money. I see she requested any of 10 of them. Do we have any idea how many are going to show up and present?
Mm-mm. I don't have any.
Yeah, that could take a while at the end of the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Has anyone heard from Brendan? Is he in the building or planning on attending?
I think he's in the building. I texted him to see where he was at, and he said he was there. So,
Sounds good. Give him a few minutes.
Oh,
Evening, Chairman McDonough.
there he is.
evening. I will call the Finance and Budget Committee meeting of December 16, 2020 to order. Annette, do you have any, Director Gleason, any updates or?
Just before we start, I guess I could go through a couple items. There might be questions on these as well.
Okay.
So some different types of expenditures that normally are not on our weekly check runs all the time. So on page 73 and page 75 is CARES Act funding that we received. Just getting down, scrolling down there so I can talk about it a little bit more. So these are funds that the health department received two different allocations of a little over $125,000. So in total, roughly, I think it was close to 251,000 that all had to be expended by December 30th. A lot of those funds were used for contact tracing, setting up some of the call center, those type of items. But also what you'll see on tonight's check run is security for the health department. They've added a security locking system for the doors down there at the health department. And then this can be added, like security cameras and whatnot can be added onto the security system. They've added their family planning clinic into the Patagonia software that they already have installed for some of their other areas. And now they'll be all on a similar software. Then they have a new surgical table. They got some, I think they got 1 or 2 laptops, some new carpeting, and then some workstations and tables and chairs and whatnot for the building. These were all allowable expenditures, excuse me, underneath their CARES Act funding. So that's a little bit different than what you're normally used to seeing from the health department spending money like that. Then on page 105 and 106 is some more CARES Act funding. This is the local government CARES Act funding. Sorry. If you recall, the governor stopped some of the local government CARES Act funding allocations. It was right after Thanksgiving, right around the November 30th, actually, at 5 p.m. But these two items that are on pages 105 and 106 were already approved items, so they will be covered in our next request for reimbursement from those funds. I think one of them, just scroll there, one of them is the county attorney's software package that they needed to have installed, and we were fortunate to get that funded this way rather than through general fund dollars. And then there's also a scanner for the clerk and recorder's office. So every year, the clerk and recorder's office for many, many years has been spending money and outsourcing some of the scanning to try to catch up with the scanning. So this will allow for some more real-time scanning, mainly as a direct for COVID too, is that the citizens and other departments will be able to access records more quickly instead of having to actually go face-to-face or in person in the clerk and recorder's office. So those are just a few items that I wanted to point out that you might have had some questions on.
Thank you. Commissioner Shea, would you like to start this evening?
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Director Gleason, I had a question on claim number 4412, and it was a check to MMIA for deductible, and it looks like it was split between roads, water, and metro, and it was quite large when it was all combined. If you could just tell us about that, please.
Yeah, I'll have to pull that one because I'm not positive of all the details a little bit. You said 4412,
Yes, please.
so it was 17,397. So law enforcement has $2,855 on there for some personnel matters. Water has $7,500 on there. Let's see. The total paid event was $8,365. It was water damage to claim with a gentleman. It doesn't have the address on here, but it's a water damage that we had with the water division. LED is an HR issue. There's 2 LED HR issues. And actually we have 3 different HR issues on here. And then the road department had an issue. I don't feel comfortable doing those names right now, and I don't have details or addresses.
That sounds reasonable. Thank you.
Anything else, Commissioner Shea?
That is all I have. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Danette.
Commissioner Fisher?
Thank you, Chairman McDonough. I have no questions on the check run. If Jeanette would just give us a little bit of explanation about the 300,000 to CryptoWatt, once again, that'd be helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, that is the development agreement that we have out in the South Butte TED. So after they pay their taxes, then this allocation is given to them every November and May with their tax payments. I think Kristen shared an email that I can reshare with everybody too, even some of the new commissioners, on that development agreement that was passed by council. And it basically will change. It'll change for 2 reasons. One, that percentage changes, but the big difference is every year there's so much depreciation on their assets because they're personal property. And so those assets depreciate quickly. And so that amount will drop. Again, it also dependent upon the number of mills that we levy out there. Is there more questions or?
Follow-up, Chairman McDonough, please.
Commissioner Fisher?
Thank you, Danette. Thank you, Chairman McDonough. I know that this don't have nothing to do with it, but I just have to ask the question. Now, the CryptoWatt is valuable again. Bitcoin and CryptoWatt are valuable again. Does that have anything to do with the taxes we will be collecting, like equipment taxes or anything like that? I mean, at one time they were down. I mean, it was like $400 a share. Now it's back up, I think 16 or, it's way up there, 16,000 or something like that. Will this have any bearing on what we do with them, with our agreement? Thank you.
There's a lot of questions there. So as far as the agreement that we have that's in place, I'm not aware that there's been any negotiations to change that agreement. So that would take a change in the actual contract and agreement that we have in place with them today. As far as the valuation goes, they are valued on the value of the assets that they have. They're not similar to what I think you were referring to, was some of the entities in the county are valued based on their income measurement. I think you might be going down that path, and they're not an income measurement. They're mainly based on the value of their property. So whether it's real property or personal property, they're heavily valued right now in personal property because of all the equipment that's out there. But that's kind of what I was referring to. That personal property will depreciate rather quickly because it's computer equipment, and that tends to depreciate quickly.
Thank you, Danette. Understandable. Thank you, Chairman McDonough. I guess with the situation they're in with the bankruptcy or whatever they're going through, it's just kind of a weird situation that Butte-Silver is in with this. I don't know I don't know if we even know where the funds are going to or whether they're held in a trust now, or I'm just not certain. And I'm sure you don't have to answer that, but it's just curiosity to me. So thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Commissioner Frederickson.
Thanks, Chairman McDonough. I appreciate it since I'm not on this committee. I will say that it's my understanding that crypto watt, I think you bring up a good topic, even though it might not be for this committee, but it's my understanding crypto watt isn't the business name anymore, and it's under different owners, and it's actually called Atlas Power, Atlas something. So I would think that if it's under new ownerships that we would have to have all new contracts. But
so Commissioner Fisher and Commissioner Frederickson, you'll see that all that legal items were transferred as part of the transfer of the entity. And it is being paid to, I gotta look, did you say Atlas or something? That's who this is being paid to. And so that contracts and whatnot were all transferred through the courts.
sorry, I couldn't find that on the sheet, so
Yeah.
I couldn't see it. I didn't see that. So thanks.
Uh-huh.
Commissioner O'Neill.
Thanks, Chairman McDonough. Hey, quick question on that too. Is, how much did they just pay in taxes? You know that amount?
Yes. I have it on the spreadsheet right here. I'm trying to find exact what page it's on. Do you have the claim number in front of you?
Oh, I'm flipping. My phone's messed up. I'm trying to flip to it too. That's why I couldn't.
It's 4339.
Oh, okay. Thank you. It's on the back of that. It has all the breakout. So $401,420.29.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I had.
And I can send you a copy of this claim. I can send everyone a copy of this claim because it even has like the contract and all the details are attached to it. And there's a spreadsheet and you can kind of see how it all works. It might be better to take a look at all of that. So I'll just scan it, and everybody that's on here tonight, I'll send it to you.
Commissioner O'Neill.
Thank you, Chair McDonough. And Danette, that was on that note. That was just their recent tax, right? That was just for half the year.
Yes, that's the November tax bill. Mm-hmm.
Good deal. I just want to, just knowing that as a positive on that deal too. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Any follow-up, Commissioner O'Neill? Commissioner Callahan.
Thanks, Chairman McDonough. I think a month ago, Chief Executive Palmer kind of explained that it's out of whatever trouble it was in with the judge was controlling things. And I think Mr. Washington or something invested a bunch more money, and I think he took over more ownership. And I think, as far as I can remember, Dave said things are in good standing and things are operating fine out there. Is that true, Jeanette?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's exactly right. Chief Executive Palmer talked to everyone about that. And then I think Kristen shared additional information on them.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Anything further from anyone? Okay, if not, I'll entertain a motion.
I will make a motion that we have reviewed the expenditure list and approve for Tuesday, December 15th in the amount of $1,535,591.63.
Okay, I have a motion on the floor
Second.
and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Motion to adjourn?
So moved. Wait, Michelle, Commissioner Shea has something.
I do.
Mr. Shea.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman. I just have a quick question for Director Gleason, and I can't remember which department had a master plan update on the check run, but I just had a question on and I can't remember, forgive me, but did we ever do a parks master plan update that was requested? Did that ever happen?
Can I hear Mike's?
Huh?
Sorry.
I couldn't tell if you were talking. And you can just give me a yes or no. I just can't remember if okay.
Not that, yeah, not that I'm aware of, that they even started one, no.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, with that, we are adjourned and we'll see you here in 5 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman McDonough. Thank you, Director Gleason. See you, ladies and gentlemen, here in a few minutes.
Can we stay on or do we have to get out and get back on again? They must be gone.